The night was unusually quiet, the kind of silence that weighed on the chest and made every sound seem louder than it was. Adam stepped outside onto his small backyard, the cool night air brushing against his skin as he squinted into the darkness. Earlier he had heard a faint, almost pitiful sound, a kind of whimpering or soft moan that didn't belong to any animal he knew. His heart pounded in that peculiar way it did when something wasn't quite right. He paused near the old oak tree, where the sound seemed strongest. The leaves rustled softly, but the sound wasn't from the wind. Then suddenly a figure appeared. Frail, shivering, and unlike anything Adam had ever seen. She looked like a girl, no older than 20, but her skin had a strange, subtle glow. It shimmered faintly under the moonlight, casting soft blue and green hues that seemed almost unreal. Her large, almond-shaped eyes reflected the stars, wide with fear and desperation. Her clothes were torn, revealing slender limbs that trembled with hunger and cold. Without thinking twice, Adam rushed to her side. "Hey, are you okay?" "What happened?" he whispered, kneeling down, careful not to startle her. The alien girl looked at him with a mixture of hope and wariness. Her voice, when she spoke, was soft and melodic, but unfamiliar in tone. "Hungry. Need food. Please," she said, barely above a whisper. Adam's mind raced. Who was she? Where had she come from? But there was no time to ponder. She was clearly starving, her ribs visible beneath her translucent skin. He tore off a piece of bread from the sandwich he had brought outside for himself and held it out. "Here, eat this." She took the bread cautiously, devouring it in small bites, as if afraid it might disappear. Adam watched in awe as her eyes brightened with each mouthful. Minutes passed in silence until she finally looked up. "Thank you," she said simply. Adam nodded, unsure of what else to say. "Do you have a name?" She hesitated, then whispered, "Lyra." The name struck him strangely, like a distant memory. Before he could ask more, a sudden noise startled them both. From the shadows, a faint mechanical hum grew louder. Adam stood, shielding Lyra instinctively. "We need to get out of here," he said, grabbing his jacket and gently pulling her along. Lyra nodded, her eyes darting nervously into the darkness. They moved quickly, the sound of pursuit growing closer. Adam's heart pounded, not just from exertion, but from an unexplainable fear. Whoever was after Lyra, they weren't friendly. Reaching his modest home, Adam locked the door behind them and leaned against it, catching his breath. "Who are they?" he asked. Lyra's eyes darkened. "They want me back, but I can't go." "Not yet." "Why?" Her voice dropped to a whisper. "Because of the babies." Adam frowned. "Babies." She looked at him with urgency. "You must be father. Only you." Adam's mind reeled. Was she serious? Was this some kind of joke? But in her eyes he saw no deceit, only a desperate plea. The secret hunt, the sun, had barely risen when Adam woke, his mind swirling with questions about Lyra and her strange demand. The events of the previous night felt unreal, but the soft, rhythmic breathing beside him confirmed she was still there. The alien girl he had saved, now quietly resting on the couch in his small living room. He watched her peaceful face, pale, but glowing faintly under the morning light filtering through the curtains. Who was she, really? Why had she come all the way here? And why did she say he had to be the father of her babies? The weight of the unknown pressed down on Adam as he quietly moved to the kitchen to prepare some breakfast, hoping that food would help Lyra regain some strength and maybe bring her out of the fearful silence she'd been wrapped in since last night. A sudden soft cough startled him. Lyra was awake. "Morning," Adam said awkwardly, carrying a plate of fruit and bread. "You should eat something." Lyra's eyes opened slowly, and she glanced around before focusing on the food. "Thank you," she whispered. Hungry. Very. Adam sat beside her, watching as she cautiously ate. Her delicate hands trembled slightly, but she ate with surprising eagerness. So, Adam started, choosing his words carefully. Can you tell me where you're from? Why are they after you? Lyra looked down, her expression darkening. My people. Destroyed. Planet lost. I escaped. Destroyed. How? Adam's heart clenched. An entire civilization wiped out. They hunted us? Our enemies, she said. I was part of a mission to save my race. Adam blinked. A mission? Lyra nodded. Yes, but it failed. The room fell silent for a moment. Adam's mind raced to connect the pieces. A starving alien girl hiding on Earth, hunted by dangerous forces with a mysterious link to him. You said I have to be the father of your babies, Adam said hesitantly. What does that mean? Lyra looked up with wide eyes, her voice trembling. Mating season. Only human DNA can save my race. If I don't reproduce, my people will die forever. Adam's chest tightened. The weight of responsibility crashed down on him like a tidal wave. This wasn't just about saving one alien girl. This was about the survival of an entire species. Why me? Why not one of your own kind? He asked. Lyra's eyes glistened. No one left. Only you. Adam wanted to ask more, but a sudden sharp noise outside made them both freeze. The hum of a vehicle approached, low and mechanical, the same sound. From last night. They're coming, Lyra said, panic flickering in her eyes. Adam grabbed a small backpack. We need to leave, now. They slipped out the back door, moving quickly through the narrow alleys behind Adam's house. The morning light was weak, shadows still long, perfect for hiding. Lyra led him silently to an old, abandoned warehouse, on the edge of town. Inside it was dark and dusty, but safer. Adam pulled out his phone, trying to call a friend he trusted, someone who could help. The call went through. Jake, I need you. It's urgent, Adam whispered. Jake's voice was calm but serious. Where are you? In the old warehouse on 5th Street. Bring anything that can help. Minutes later, Jake arrived, a tall man with a rugged look and a calm demeanor. He immediately understood the situation. They're after her, Adam said. I don't know what she is, but it's serious. Jake nodded. Aliens, huh? Thought those were just stories. Lyra stepped forward, her voice soft but steady. I am real, and my enemies will destroy anyone who helps me. Jake's eyes widened. Then we better act fast. The next few hours were tense. Adam, Jake, and Lyra planned their next move. Lyra revealed more about her alien race, the Alari, who once thrived on a distant planet, now reduced to ashes. The enemy faction, known as the Crithians, were relentless hunters determined to capture the last surviving Alari to exploit. Their unique biology. The Crithians want control over the Alari's advanced technology, Lyra explained. It can change everything, energy, medicine, even time. But if it falls into the wrong hands, it will bring destruction. Adam felt the gravity of the situation sinking in. This was no longer just about survival. It was about protecting Earth and possibly the entire galaxy. Suddenly a sharp crack echoed from outside. Adam's heart raced as footsteps approached the warehouse. Shadows flickered by the broken windows. They found us, Jake said grimly. Adam and Jake armed themselves with whatever they could find. Old pipes, tools, even broken glass. Lyra moved with surprising agility despite her weakness, her eyes scanning for escape routes. The warehouse door burst open. A group of strange, armored figures stepped inside. Tall, their faces obscured by dark helmets, moving with mechanical precision. Adam's grip tightened on a metal rod. Get ready, he whispered. The intruders spread out, searching. Lyra stepped forward, her voice ringing clear. You will not take me back. The leader, A towering figure with a deep, distorted voice answered, "Lyra, surrender now. Your resistance is futile." Adam felt a surge of protectiveness. "Not while I'm here." The tension exploded into chaos. Adam swung the rod, knocking one attacker off balance. Jake tackled another, while Lyra moved swiftly, dodging blows with grace. Despite their courage, they were outnumbered. In a desperate move, Lyra activated a small device on her wrist. A bright pulse of light flooded the room, momentarily blinding. "They're attackers! Run!" she shouted. They sprinted towards a side exit, but a heavy hand grabbed Adam's jacket. The leader pulled him back. "You're coming with us!" Lyra reacted instantly, throwing a glowing sphere that exploded with a burst of energy, freeing Adam. They dashed into the narrow alleyways, the chase resuming. Adam's lungs burned, but he kept moving. Lyra's words echoed in his mind. The survival of her race depended on him. Suddenly, they reached a dead end. Behind them, the footsteps closed in. "Think fast," Lyra urged. Adam looked around desperately and spotted an old, rusty fire escape ladder. Without hesitation, he grabbed Lyra's hand and climbed. The attackers reached the alley just as they disappeared over the rooftop. Breathing heavily, Adam looked at Lyra. "This isn't over." Lyra nodded, determination in her eyes. "No, it has only begun." That night, in the safety of a hidden location, Adam sat by a flickering fire. The reality of his new life weighed heavily on him. "Why me?" he asked quietly. Lyra looked at him with something almost like sorrow. "Because you are human, and humanity is special." Adam swallowed hard. "What do you mean?" She smiled faintly. "Your DNA carries something rare, something my people need to survive." Adam shook his head, trying to process the impossible. "Truth, will you help me?" Lyra asked. Adam hesitated. The future was uncertain, dangerous, but looking into her pleading eyes, he knew his answer. "I will." Cliffhanger. Her pleading eyes, he knew his answer. "I will." Cliffhanger. As they planned their next move, an encrypted message crackled over a hidden communication device Lyra carried. The voice was cold, unfamiliar. "She's with the human. Find them. Bring her back, whatever the cost." Shadows of the past, the chill of dawn crept into the small cabin where Adam and Lyra had taken refuge. Outside, the forest stretched silently, hiding dangers both known and unseen. Inside, the air was thick. With uncertainty, Adam stared at the strange device Lyra held, the communicator through which the ominous message had come. The cold voice, distant yet unmistakably threatening, haunted his thoughts. "We're not just running from enemies anymore," Adam murmured. "They have eyes everywhere." Lyra nodded, her expression grave. "The Crithians have spies on Earth. They want me back, and they will stop at nothing." Adam clenched his fists. "We need allies, someone who can help us fight." Lyra looked at him, eyes searching. "There is one, but he's dangerous." The story of Lyra's past began to unfold as she spoke quietly about the one person who could aid them, Kyle, her childhood friend, and a former commander in the Aelari resistance. Once loyal, Kyle had been presumed dead during the fall of their home planet, but whispers suggested he had survived, perhaps even betrayed his people. "He has knowledge we need," Lyra said. "But trusting him is risky. He may have switched." "Sides!" Adam leaned forward, the weight of the situation pressing down. "We don't have a choice. How do we find him?" Lyra pulled a small, translucent device from her pocket. A holographic map flickered to life, displaying coordinates. "Far across the planet, here," she said, "in a hidden settlement outside the city. But it's heavily guarded. The plan was dangerous, but necessary." Adam and Lyra prepared to infiltrate the settlement, knowing that time was against them. The Crithians were closing in, and every moment counted. Under the cover of darkness, they moved silently through the forest, navigating the underbrush with practiced care. Lyra's alien senses guided them, alert for any signs of pursuit. As they approached the outskirts of the city, the environment changed dramatically. Towering skyscrapers glistened in the night, neon lights casting eerie reflections on wet streets. The hidden settlement was tucked away in a forgotten industrial district, surrounded by barbed wire and security drones. Adam's heart pounded as they neared the entrance. "Stay close," Lyra whispered, using a combination of stealth and Lyra's advanced technology. They bypassed the outer defenses and slipped inside. The settlement was a strange mix of advanced technology and desperate survival. Makeshift homes built from scraps, glowing signs in alien scripts, and the hum of energy. Fields filled the air. Adam's eyes adjusted to the dim light, taking in the scene. People moved cautiously, their faces etched with weariness and suspicion. Lyra led him through narrow alleys until they reached a fortified building guarded by two stern-faced sentries. "Kyle is inside," she said quietly. "We must convince him to help." Adam's throat tightened. This was no ordinary meeting. The fate of two species might hinge on what happened next. Inside the building, a tall man with sharp features and piercing eyes awaited them. His presence was commanding, yet there was a shadow of pain in his gaze. "Lyra," Kyle said, his voice rough but familiar. "You're alive," Lyra nodded. "I need your help." Kyle studied Adam. "And who is this?" "This is Adam. He saved me. Now our survival depends on him." Kale's eyes narrowed. "Humans? I thought they were primitive." Adam bristled but kept calm. "Maybe, but I'm here now, and I intend to help." The conversation was tense. Kale revealed that, after the fall of their planet, he had gone underground, working covertly to resist the Crithians from the shadows. But his methods had grown more ruthless, and some saw him as a traitor. "You must understand," Kyle said. "Desperate times call for desperate measures." Lyra shook her head. "Not if it means losing our humanity." Adam sensed a rift between the two old friends, a divide that went deeper than the war itself. "We need a plan," Adam said. "If the Crithians want Lyra, they will come harder." Kyle nodded. "I have access to resources, weapons, intel, and a network of sympathizers." They agreed to form an uneasy alliance, but trust was fragile, and danger lurked in every shadow. Over the next days, Adam learned more about the Aelari and their advanced technology, energy shields, healing devices, and bioengineered weapons. Unlike anything on Earth, Lyra's strength returned gradually, and her bond with Adam deepened, yet the threat loomed ever closer. One night, alarms blared across the settlement. Crithian forces had found them. The battle was fierce. Adam fought alongside Kale and the Resistance, wielding weapons he barely understood. Lyra used her alien abilities to shield them, but the Crithians were relentless. In the chaos, Adam caught sight of the Crithian leader, the same figure who had confronted them before, and something in his expression chilled Adam to the core. Cliffhanger. As the fight raged, Adam realized the Crithian leader knew more about him than he should. Before Adam could react, the leader spoke, voice dripping with menace. "You carry the bloodline we feared, the key to the galaxy's future. Surrender him, and your race will be spared." The bloodline revealed. The Crithian leader's words echoed through the chaos like a death knell. Adam's heart pounded in his chest, confusion and fear twisting inside him. "You know me?" Adam demanded, raising his weapon but hesitating. The leader's eyes gleamed coldly. "More than you realize, human. You carry the bloodline of the ancient guardians, the lost protectors of the galaxy. Your very existence threatens the Crithian Empire's domination." Lyra stepped forward, her voice fierce. "What are you saying? Why would he matter to you?" The Crithian smiled cruelly. "Because in his veins flows the power to destroy us all." Kale's face darkened. "This changes everything." As the firefight momentarily paused, Adam struggled to process the revelation. A hidden heritage? Guardians of the galaxy? It sounded like something from a legend, yet the Crithian's knowledge felt too precise to dismiss. Lyra lowered her weapon and approached Adam, eyes wide with urgency. You need to understand your past, the secret your own kind forgot. Kyle nodded. There is a place, a sanctuary where the truth lies, but it's a one-way journey. If you go, you may never come back. Adam's mind raced. He had come to Earth as an ordinary man, unaware of any extraordinary lineage. Now his fate seemed intertwined with a cosmic war. The sanctuary was located in a remote asteroid belt, cloaked from all known sensors. Kyle revealed an ancient starship buried beneath the settlement, capable of reaching the hidden refuge. Lyra's voice softened. This is our only chance to turn the tide. Adam hesitated. And if I refuse? Kyle's expression was grim. Then the Crithians will hunt you down, and no one will be safe. Under the cover of night, the trio prepared the ship. The residents of the settlement gathered silently, hopeful yet fearful. As Adam stepped onto the vessel, he glanced back at Lyra and Kyle. This journey would change everything. About himself, about the war, and about the fate of both their species. The engines roared to life, and the ship launched into the void. Days passed as they traveled through the darkness, the silence broken only by the hum of the ship's systems. Adam spent hours poring over the star charts and ancient texts. Kyle had recovered. The story of the Guardians unfolded, a race of powerful beings who once maintained balance across the galaxy, wiped out in a great war centuries ago. But some bloodlines survived, scattered and hidden, their powers dormant until awakened. One night, Adam woke from a restless sleep. A strange sensation coursed through his veins, a warmth, a light, a power stirring within him. He stumbled to the control room, where Lyra and Kyle were waiting. It's happening, Adam whispered. I feel different. Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder. Your guardian genes are activating. You are more than you think. Kyle looked serious. You must learn to control it, or it will consume you. Training began. Under Kyle's harsh guidance and Lyra's encouragement, Adam learned to harness his newfound abilities, energy manipulation, heightened senses, and an intuitive connection to cosmic forces. The transformation was painful and exhausting, but Adam refused to give up. He thought of Earth, of Lyra, and of the countless lives depending on him. Suddenly, the ship's alarms blared. Sensors detected an incoming Crithian fleet, faster, larger, and more deadly than before. Kale grimaced. They found us. Lyra activated the ship's defenses. We need to hide or fight. Adam's resolve hardened. We can't run, not anymore. The battle erupted among the stars, laser blasts streaking through the void, engines roaring, and the ship rocked violently. Adam focused his energy, unleashing a brilliant wave of force that shattered an enemy cruiser. Kyle shouted orders, coordinating counterattacks, while Lyra shielded the ship from incoming fire. Despite their skill, the Crithians pressed harder, aiming to capture Adam alive. In the chaos, Adam caught a glimpse of the Crithian leader commanding the assault. His expression twisted with fury. Adam shouted, "This ends now!" Summoning every ounce of strength, Adam unleashed a burst of energy so powerful it forced the Crithian ships to retreat. As silence returned, Adam collapsed, drained but victorious. Lyra knelt beside him. You did it. You're truly a guardian. Kyle nodded slowly. The galaxy's hope rests on your shoulders. Cliffhanger. Just as relief washed over them, the ship's communication console flickered to life. A distorted, desperate voice crackled through. They've taken her. Your world's greatest. Secret is gone. The shadow of betrayal. The message from the communication console left Adam, Lyra, and Kale frozen in shock. The voice, desperate, strained, had said, "They've taken her. Your world's greatest secret is gone." But who? And what secret? Adam's mind raced. Who have they taken? What secret? He demanded. Lyra's face was pale. It must be my sister. When the Crithians attacked the settlement, she disappeared. I thought she escaped. Kyle slammed his fist against the console. They've captured someone close to us to force you into submission. The Crithians played dirty. The ship's interior hummed with tension. Adam looked at Lyra. The determination. In her eyes was fierce, but shadowed with fear. We need to find her, Adam said, voice steady despite the turmoil inside. Kyle nodded grimly. If she's alive, the Crithians are using her as leverage. They want you to surrender your powers or give up the Guardian's sanctuary. Lyra clenched her fists. I won't let them win. Their journey took a sudden turn. The hidden sanctuary was no longer safe. The Crithians had cracked their route, and now their target was clear. Rescue Lyra's sister and stop the Crithians from unraveling everything. Kale piloted the ship toward the outer fringes of Crithian space, a dark and dangerous place few dared to venture. As the ship neared the coordinates sent by the intercepted Crithian transmissions, a chilling sight awaited them. An enormous prison fortress orbiting a dead planet, surrounded by swirling debris and automated defense drones. Lyra's voice trembled. That's where they're holding her. Adam's jaw tightened. We get her back, no matter the cost. The trio prepared for a covert infiltration mission. Adam's newly mastered powers would be crucial. Kyle supplied ancient tech and weapons salvaged from past battles. Lyra's knowledge of the Crithian language and customs made her invaluable. Silently, the ship slipped past perimeter defenses, cloaking itself in the shadow of the planet. Inside the fortress, cold corridors stretched endlessly. Guards patrolled in shifts, their faces emotionless. The air was thick with dread. Using Lyra's insider knowledge, they navigated the labyrinth, avoiding cameras and traps. Adam's powers allowed him to disable security fields with pulses of energy. But each step deeper drained his strength. Suddenly alarms blared. We've been detected, Kyle hissed. Move! They sprinted through winding hallways as Crithian soldiers poured in behind them. Adam unleashed a wave of energy, staggering their pursuers, but it was only a matter of time before they were overwhelmed. Reaching the detention block, they found the cells lined with alien prisoners, weak, broken, and silent. In one cell, Lyra's sister sat, gaunt but alive, eyes brightening when she saw her. Lyra, she whispered, voice hoarse but filled with hope. Hold on, Lyra said fiercely, cutting through the bars with a plasma blade. But as they prepared to leave, an ominous voice echoed through the halls. You think you can steal from the Crithians? The Crithian leader from before appeared, flanked by elite guards. Adam's heart sank. The leader's eyes gleamed cruelly. You carry the bloodline of Guardians, but you are only human. Weak, emotional. You cannot protect what you do not understand. Lyra stepped forward, protective. We're stronger than you think. The leader sneered. Then prove it. A brutal fight erupted. Adam pushed his powers to the limit, battling the leader in a clash of energy and will. Lyra and Kyle took on the guards, their teamwork seamless despite the danger. The leader's strength was terrifying, but Adam's resolve was stronger. As the battle reached its peak, the leader smirked and revealed a shocking truth. You don't even know why the Guardians fell. It was not us who destroyed them. It was your own. Bloodline's betrayal. The words cut deep. Adam faltered. What betrayal? The leader laughed darkly. The Guardians' greatest enemy was not outside. It was within. A faction of Guardians betrayed their own to seize power. Your ancestors were part of that treachery, Lyra gasped. That can't be true. Kyle looked away, troubled. With a surge of energy, Adam pushed the leader back, breaking his hold. We make our own fate, Adam declared. Not the sins of the past. The leader snarled and retreated, signaling his troops to fall back. Freeing Lyra's sister, they raced back to the ship. As the fortress alarms blared again, Adam felt a new fire burning inside him. Not just power, but purpose. The past was dark, but the future was theirs to shape. Back aboard the ship, the reunited sisters embraced, tears of relief flowing. Lyra looked at Adam, gratitude and something deeper in her eyes. "We owe you everything." Adam smiled softly. "We owe it to each other." Kale stood at the helm, plotting their next move, but peace was fleeting. The Crithian leader's words haunted Adam. Could the bloodline he trusted truly be so flawed? Cliffhanger. As the ship slipped away from the prison world, a shadow moved unseen aboard, a hidden traitor among them, and the Crithian's secret plan was far from over. The legacy of humanity. The cold hum of the ship's engines was a thin comfort as Adam paced the command deck, eyes flicking to every shadow, every corner. The warning was clear. Someone aboard was a traitor, someone they trusted. Lyra and her sister sat quietly in the main cabin, their bond stronger than ever, yet the tension in the air was palpable. Kyle stood near the navigation panel, scanning the ship's systems for any sign of sabotage. "Nothing unusual yet," he muttered, but his voice betrayed doubt. Adam clenched his fists. "We can't wait for the traitor to make a move. We have to find out who it is before it's too late." The three exchanged uneasy glances. "Let me handle the security systems," Lyra said, her voice steady despite the fear she hid inside. "I'll isolate any anomalies." Hours passed. The quiet was shattered by a sudden alarm, an intruder alert. The ship's lights flickered, plunging the corridors into dim red. Kyle rushed toward the source, Adam and Lyra following swiftly behind. In the lower engineering bay, they found the door sealed from the inside. The console flashed a warning. "Unauthorized access detected." Adam reached out, focusing his energy on the lock. With a surge, the door hissed open. Inside was a figure cloaked in shadow. Kyle's eyes widened in shock. "It's me," Kyle whispered. The figure stepped forward, revealing Kyle's face, but twisted with fear and conflict. "I never wanted this," Kyle confessed. "The Crithians threatened my family. They forced me to spy on you, to sabotage your mission from within." Lyra stared, disbelief turning to anger. "Why didn't you tell us?" Kyle's voice cracked. "I was scared. But I've seen what they do. I want to help you stop them." Adam's heart pounded. The betrayal cut deep, but there was sincerity in Kyle's eyes. The team quickly repaired the breaches Kyle had made, re-establishing the ship's defenses. "Time is against us," Adam said. "The Crithians will attack again, stronger this time. They want to claim the Guardian's power for themselves." Lyra nodded. "And now, they know everything about our sanctuary." As they neared their homeworld, the skies above were darkened by Crithian warships, dozens of massive vessels blocking the horizon. "Prepare for battle," Adam ordered. "We can't let them take our future." The space around their sanctuary exploded into chaos. Energy blasts and missiles filled the void, stars flickering under the onslaught. Adam unleashed his powers like never before, shields of light, blasts of pure energy, deflecting the enemy with unyielding force. Lyra and her sister coordinated the ship's defenses, piloting through the storm. Kyle, fighting for redemption, manned the weapons, striking back at the Crithian fleet. Amid the battle, Adam's mind drifted back to the leader's chilling words about the Guardian's betrayal. Was the darkness truly in their bloodline? Or was it the fear that made them weak? He realized that power alone wasn't enough. Trust, courage, and humanity were their true strength. The battle raged for hours. Casualties mounted on both sides, but the Guardian's resolve never wavered. In a final desperate move, Adam focused all his energy on a massive pulse that disabled the Crithian command ship. Without leadership, the enemy fleet faltered and retreated, leaving the Guardians victorious. As silence returned, Lyra approached Adam. "We survived," she said softly. Adam smiled tiredly. "More than that, we grew stronger." Days later, on the sanctuary's surface, the reunited team gathered. Lyra's sister had recovered, and peace, though fragile, seemed possible. Adam addressed the group. "The past may be dark, but the future is ours to build. We must honor the mistakes of those before us and choose a path of hope." Lyra added, "We are not defined by betrayal or fear, but by the love and courage we share." Kale, now fully trusted, vowed to protect their new family. The story of the Guardians, once lost to myth and mystery, had found new life. Humanity, flawed, brave, and unyielding, would not just survive, but thrive among the stars. Final lesson. True, strength lies not in power or bloodline, but in the bonds we forge and the choices we make. In a universe filled with shadows, it is the light of humanity, compassion, trust, and hope that guides us forward. The end.